All right. So tell me your stage name.
BTP.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit about the new piece that you just worked on, the title, and more or less like what it's about.
The YouTube video, the D Storm.
Mhm.
Well, I wrote that in about like 5-10 minutes. It was like, cause when I found out about it, it was like already almost a week into it. I didn't know how much time I had, so I mixed it, edited, and made the video the next day off of my stepmom's camera. But all in all, like, I put about a day's work into it.
How did you feel when you did complete and submit it?
I felt good. I actually thought I had a chance of winning. But, you know, like on one of the things he gave for tips on people that didn't get mentioned and stuff, like stay on, like, point, like, not stay on point, but, like, stay on topic. And, you know, the whole thing was like the New Year's resolution thing, kind of like watch me, you know, be successful or something. You know, I kind of went off and I, you know, just kind of felt the music and went into it. And then at the end I put watch me, you know, I guess just to be relevant, but, I mean.
Yeah. Now okay, but since you were very motivated to enter in that competition, tell me what originated that whole spark? Like, when did you actually start writing or thinking about putting words together to present?
I mean, when I was young, like I'm talking about pre-K kinder, I hated school. I hated it. I couldn't spell with anything. But even though all that, I used to like make little mini books. You know, like not all pictures, but you know, I would actually write a little bit. Now, and these books would be like 50 pages long, 20, 50, 60 pages long, and I had like at least 30 of them off the top of my head I could think of. And I did that all the way through my 2 terms in first grade, and then in second grade it kind of dropped off because, you know, other things were going on. Third grade, I first moved to Thurman, and, you know, just so much stuff was going on, and I finally started getting back into music. In about 4th, 5th grade, you know, I actually started this rapping, and I would like listen to songs and kind of take the bars I liked and put them in my songs, my lyrics. And you know, I think that's how I started getting a feel for it in elementary. And by the time I hit 7th grade, I think that's when I learned about Tupac. And you know, I've always heard his music, but I didn't know who it was. Then I found out more about him, listened to more of his tracks, biography, and that pretty much set how I was going to flow.
Now, I'm glad that you brought up Tupac, because that was one of my questions, like who inspired you, or maybe who directed you into hip-hop and rapping and putting your words together. But do you, like Tupac, do you think that some of your life experiences have made you or influenced you to create your music?
Everything I say in my music is the truth. Everything. I don't leave anything like. This is the way I've done it. It's everything I've experienced in my life I put in my music. Everybody from my moms to my stepmoms to my dad, that things they went through, I take it to where maybe they never had the chance, you know. Lord put my mom's soul to rest at an early age, but I mean, take their story, you know, it's kind of like it's like everybody got a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you feel your time is up, when you feel you really say, I've done everything I could, then I think that's when God takes you. And my mom gave me her story, and I use her story on many occasions. I've been through it with half of her life, and we went through a bunch of it. It's just crazy. And I mean, everybody got a story, and you know, through my stories, everything's the truth. Not once have I lied. And I think that's what inspired me. You know, Tupac, his mom was in the Black Panthers. My mom, you know, she had her faults, you know. I mean, we all have our faults, you know. I mean, it's just.
Now, it sounds like you've already had a long life, but remind me again, how old are you? What grade are you in school?
I'm 16 and I'm in the 10th grade.
And what do you aspire to do with your education?
What I would like to do is study more into politics and like learn more about literature and, you know, maybe, you know, study history of, you know, world leaders, Gandhi, X, you know, MLK, you know, people like that, you know, that really started movements toward embracing the humans like just to change it for a better. is the most simplest way I can put it in the top of my head. And it's just, I mean, you know, learn more from them, because what I can learn from them, I can help in my life and then put into my music, put into my work. Because if anything, I'm going to always have music. At the rate I'm going, I will always have music. But what I would love to do is be like a speaker. I would love to do that. That would be something I would love to do.
Now, you've used music and writing as an outlet for your life, the struggles and your mom's passing. If you were speaking now, since you mentioned you want to be a speaker, if you were to speak to a room full of young kids, like say between 8 and 12 years old, what is the best advice you can give them?
Don't give up. At the age of, not at the age of 7, I lied. At the age of 7, I was kicked out of my house by my own family. Then from 7 through 8, I lived in a trailer park. Then there was a massive flood in Del Valle. I don't know if you remember, but it pretty much covered the entire apartment. Then we were homeless again, hotel jumping. Moved to 183, some things happened. Me and my mom went to the shelter after that. And then after that, you know, my dad got out the pen, and I kind of wanted to see what he was like. So that's when I moved to Thurman, you know, when the project, the north side, I guess they used to call it, the Heights. And it was bad. I mean, I saw my first, not my first drug dealing, but like my first murder. I've witnessed all kinds of things in Thurman when it used to be bad before. Like how their gates around it now, how the helicopters go back and forth patrolling. Way worse. I even had SWAT team put a gun to my head just because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, you know, I brought, you know, you live here, you know, you're already a suspect. So you got to run to the police because they already got their hand on the trigger. And that's just the way it is. And I've been brought up like that since the 3rd grade. And I've been living here like that. And now that it's more cleaned up, all these little kids, you know, they don't know how good they have it. They don't. These adolescents here, they don't know. For people that watching this, you know, they in that kind of a situation. You just can't. I ain't gonna lie. I've given into temptation on a couple of occasions. I ain't gonna lie. But you just gotta learn not to do it. I mean, it's just, you want to live in this world and you want to live, tell your story. You got to be able to live and live it out, like how Pac died at the age of 25. He told the story. My mom died at the age of 46 just a couple weeks ago. She told the story. You know, when she passed, I always told my mom, first time we was hit by that car, put you in a wheelchair, that should have killed you. Then she had an infection in the vertebrae, could have made her paralyzed, could have killed her. That should have killed her. Then this one, just recently, she had meningitis. She, whole body infection, her brain was affected, everything with that meningitis and whatnot. She went through it, came out nursing home. Everything was good. And I had my mom, she was on probation. I had everything straight for her. And I'm like, there's nothing more that can go wrong. And I'm like, well, I ain't know any more lessons that she could teach me. And she passed.
So what do you think is what's going to take you or help you reach your goals in life? What are the tools that you would advise, or the metaphor, what are the weapons in your hands that are going to keep you fighting?
I've learned, you know, just back to my mom, I've learned that there are miracles. I should have been dead at the age of 5th. In the 5th grade, I should have died. I had a staph infection in my leg, and they said it should have killed me within the first 4 days. I had that staph infection in my leg for 2 weeks. Then went to the hospital. They said I wasn't going to make it. Then they said they had to amputate it to live. Then went through all of it. Now I'm playing varsity football. Both legs. You know, I mean, that's miracles happen. And you can't wait for them, but you got to kind of fight to where they don't happen. Fight to where you ain't in that situation in the first place. Because, I mean, miracles happen when we've made kind of bad choices. I think that's kind of God saying, showing us His forgiving hand. But if you're able to make it to a miracle don't happen, that means, well, you're living a pretty steady life. You know, somebody's down on the table, you want a miracle to happen. How would you prevent it from happening in the first place?
Well, that's a good philosophy. Do you want to give us a quick 20-second couple lines of your work?
I mean, that's one thing I'm also working on as a rapper is memorization.
I don't memorize anything either.
You know, but, you know, it all comes with time, you know. It's just kind of like, it's like, on one of my newest ones, this is in my second mixtape, it's like I said, I ain't gonna lie, I cried when my mama died, but something like that. And then I said, well, I marked the day in the calendar that she was free, because I mean, she was in a wheelchair. She was still a high risk of having that infection coming back into her and killing her on any occasion. You know, she was free. She didn't have to deal with no more drug game gone, probation, worries in life, worrying about me worrying about her. It's gone. I mean, now she's gone, I feel it's not the same. But, you know, a little bit at ease. Because, you know, I'm like, she gone a little quick, just 46, but I see her at the crossroads. That's the best way I can say it.
That's good. It's a good ending. Thank you.